Hey all, Tom Moran here from Tom's Big Spiders. This episode we're going to be taking a look at the Brachypelma emelia or Mexican red-leg tarantula, a very popular one and one that I get a lot of requests for updates for. I posted up a video last year where I did a rehousing and some husbandry notes while people want to know how she's doing or he's doing. 50-50 shot, I haven't sexed her out yet. Anyway, this hardy medium-sized terrestrial from Mexico is highly sought after in the hobby due to its gorgeous coloration, its docile temperament, and it often pops up on beginner species list because of the hardiness, and it's normally very docile temperament, although heads up, some of the smaller ones can be a little more spunky, shall we say, but an amazing spider and one that a lot of people hold in very high regard. So enough of me talking, let's take an updated look at my Brachypelma emelia. All right, this is going to be a quick rehousing video featuring my Brachypelma emelia or Mexican redleg. I did a rehousing video of this one, I think back in late May of 2021. At that point, we put her into what she's in now, which is a little about 16-ounce acrylic cylinder. Before that, she was in one of those little Matchbox car boxes. I did something a little different with them. But again, the old dram vials work great for these guys, especially when they're smaller. I picked this girl up, and well, we're saying girl, I'm hoping girl, I don't know yet, in March of 2020. At that time, she was a very well-started sling, probably about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. It's one thing to note with slings below an inch. I've found that the smaller Brachypelma slings, the ones that are like 1/3 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, around that size, for me anyway, take a while to put on size. But once they hit about the 3/4 inch to inch mark, or 2 to 2.5 centimeters or so, then they really start picking up size. So for example, this one had molted 2 times in my care before that. I put her into this enclosure here. She has molted twice and has definitely outgrown this enclosure. Now, I'm not going to go full husbandry video on this one because I did a husbandry video the last time we rehoused her, and I will link to that at the end of this video and in the description for those wanting a little more information on them. But this is kind of an update one, so we will show what we are putting her into, which is this over here. An Exoterra Nano Mini, I believe. No, Exoterra Nano Mini. Exoterra Nano, I think it is. I always screw these up, and somebody made fun of me once for it, and I just can't seem to get it in my head. But anyway, it's the 8x8 inch cube. As for a top, we have one of these here, which I will plop on this here, which is one of the C&M Terrarium Tinker frames. I will try to remember to put a link in. They basically, I believe it's 3D print the new replacement covers, because unfortunately the covers that come on these do have the wire mesh and they can get their toe claws caught in the wire mesh. I've heard people say that it's a myth. It's not. I've seen it myself. I've seen it happen a couple times myself. Unfortunately, I've had other people send me pictures of it. It can leave them dangling, so we replace them with these. Just a note with the top, some people have said they wish they had a little more ventilation in here. So one thing you can do is actually order these without the plexiglass in them. You can provide your own plexiglass and you can drill holes in the plexiglass as well, which gives a lot more ventilation. Now, as far as what's in here, we have BioDude substrate. Love the stuff. I use it all the time. We have some moss. This is actually dry green moss. I didn't bother moistening it down because this is a species from Mexico that's used to more arid climes, so we don't want to go crazy with the moisture. And then I got some leaf litter in there for just, I like the way the leaf litter looks. Gives it a more natural look. Piece of cork bark cubbied up in the corner here. Little burrow underneath, and I will be adding a water dish once we get her in. So now let's do the fun part, get her out of here. We may do poke and pray. We'll see how it goes. Oh, no. Naughty girl. Well, there she is in the new one. And this should give her quite a few molts before she has to be moved out of it. I found that these little 8x8 cubes are good for spiders. They're like 4.5 inches or so. At that point, it's a little bit small for them, so we'll get her probably into her adult enclosure after that, but we'll play it by ear, see how it goes. But I did want to get her in something a little nicer, even if it is temporary, because she's an absolutely beautiful spider. These guys have become kind of hobby staples, and as I alluded to in the last video I did on this one, it took me many, an embarrassing amount of years to finally get one, but now we have one. She is gorgeous, stunning, and I look forward to growing her up to adulthood. As far as temperament, a note, obviously temperament can vary from specimen to specimen. This species has a reputation for being very laid back and tractable. However, I found with most Brachypelma species that until they hit around 3.5, 4-inch mark, even then, they sometimes are quite skittish. They are prone to kicking hairs. This one has kicked hairs before. I've seen it with Brachypelma hamorii. I've seen it with Brachypelma smithi, Brachypelma bamey, definitely. So just keep that in mind when you get them. I've heard folks that pick them up and they'll get like a little juvenile and they'll be like, I don't understand, this thing's crazy. Heads up, while they're smaller, they tend to be a little more high-strung. So there we go, quick little rehouse and update on my Brachypelma emelia or Mexican redleg. Beautiful spider, one that I do believe anybody that likes brachys should definitely own, and I think for many it's going to be a hobby staple. It's one they're going to say everybody should keep at some point in their collection. So again, once she outgrows this enclosure and we get her into her adult enclosure, I will probably revisit the husbandry on them. But however, having just covered it about a year ago, I figured we wouldn't get redundant here and cover it again. So if you want to take a look at that video, I will be putting it somewhere over here when I do my little spiel at the end. And I'll put a link to it in the comment section so that people can find that video. So that will do it for this one. As always, if you liked it enough to subscribe, very much appreciated. Click the little circle right up in here. If you want to check out my old husbandry video on this or the one from last year, that'll be right about here. And then we'll put another video up there. As always, if you take the time to comment, I will take the time to respond. Just know it can take me a couple days to get back to you. That'll do it for this one, guys. As always, stay safe. We'll catch you all next time.